Good afternoon. I'm Sherman Chow. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a deadly high-speed crash in northwest Houston overnight. Houston police say that illegal street racing may be to blame. Our Michelle Choi has the latest.
Sherman, police say witnesses saw two cars racing northbound here on West Montgomery Road before one of those cars hit a curb, lost control, rolled, and then crashed through this metal fence, landing on the inside of the parking lot of this funeral home. This afternoon, you can still see crime scene tape wrapped around the fence, shattered glass everywhere, and fresh tire marks through the grass. Police say this all happened just after midnight. The driver who crashed, he was ejected and died here at the scene. A woman passenger was rushed to a hospital by ambulance and is expected to survive. As for the other driver, police say they took off. This deadly crash comes as Houston police continue to crack down on illegal street racing, which officials have called an epidemic here in our city that needs to stop. Police are now looking for that other driver who witnesses say was in a white car. If you have any information on this case, you're asked to call Houston police. Sherman.
All right, thank you very much, Michelle. Also overnight, a pedestrian was killed after a deadly hit and run about 11 last night. This was in South Houston. Police say several cars may have struck him, but no driver stayed at the scene. This happened on the 288 northbound ramp at Alameda Genoa. HPD checking surveillance video from nearby businesses. And later today, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee to meet the family of Erica Hernandez. The mother of three has been missing for a week now. Her family is offering a reward for any information in this case. We'll have more on this story in our later newscasts. Have you had trouble making an appointment to get your COVID vaccine? Some good news, appointments no longer needed at several Houston area vaccination sites. Just walk on in. Starting today, the Houston Health Department will accept walk-ins at all of its COVID-19 vaccination sites. Hours of operation at some locations will also be extended. Fort Bend County opening its vaccination site for walk-ups at the Fort Bend County Fairgrounds. Head to KHOU.com for a list of sites and times. Vaccine hesitancy, though, a growing problem. Recent polls show that women and folks in lower incomes are less likely to get the shot than their counterparts, though racial differences are narrowing. Natalie Brand shares some new numbers on vaccine hesitancy in the U.S.
Vaccine hesitancy is becoming the latest coronavirus challenge as supply is outpacing demand in some communities.
We don't need to have every American vaccinated, but we do need to have most. And I hope most Americans decide this is really a safe and effective vaccine that is good for them and it's good for their families.
A new CBS News poll shows more than 1 in 5 Americans, or around 22%, say they will not get the vaccine. Another 18% are still unsure. About half of Republicans surveyed say they are either unsure or will not get the shot.
I encourage people to talk to their doctors, talk to people you trust, talk to your pharmacists. Don't listen to politicians, don't listen to senators, don't listen to me. Talk to the people in your life who you trust.
Overall, the majority of Americans say they will get vaccinated or have already received at least one dose. Doctors say it's important not to skip the second dose of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
It is critical that everybody get their second shot because that's the only way we know that it's going to really protect you for any extended period of time.
More states are expected to resume using the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine this week, but with added warnings after rare cases of blood clots. The CDC is also expected to announce new guidance in the coming days about wearing masks outdoors. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And the European Union is suing AstraZeneca over shipment delays of its COVID-19 vaccine. The company was under contract to deliver some 300 million shots by June, but now aims to deliver just a third of that, citing production problems. The AstraZeneca vaccine is widely used around the world, but not yet authorized in the U.S. AP reporting that the U.S. will begin sharing up to 60 million AstraZeneca vaccine doses with the world in the coming months after anticipated U.S. approval. Meantime, the EU says it will soon allow fully vaccinated Americans to fly to Europe again and expects that member states will do the same. But EU guidelines say that each of the 27 member states make the final decision about entry. Greece, for example, has waived its requirements while Brussels has tightened them. Regardless, you will need proof of vaccination before you travel. All right, here's Here at home in the U.S., can we ditch the mask when we go outdoors? We should find out soon. President Biden expected to announce updated CDC guidelines for fully vaccinated folks. This should happen soon. Back in November, a review in the Journal of Infectious Disease found less than 10% of COVID infections studied actually occurred outside. Dr. Fauci has recently called the risk, quote, really low. Several states have outdoor mask mandates in place.